The mystery of the mega fraud is Bankim Brahmbhatt when an Indian CEO shook the financial system of America. Just imagine, amid the glittering towers of Wall Street, an Indian CEO sits confidently in every meeting, signing multi-million-dollar contracts, and America's biggest investment firms trust him with their loans. Everyone calls him India's telecom visionary. But one day, everything changes. Phone calls stop, offices lie empty, emails turn out to be fake, and as investigations begin, the most breathtaking fraud in recent memory surfaces. A scam so massive it rattles even a giant like BlackRock. This is the story of Bankim Brahmbhatt, the Indian-origin entrepreneur who spun a colossal financial web in the name of telecom business, costing American lenders hundreds of millions of dollars. And when the whole game was exposed, Bankim chose to disappear by filing for bankruptcy. But who exactly was this man? How did he manage to deceive BlackRock, BNP Paribas, and some of the world's top banks? Was it the act of one man, or the cover for a much larger international network? Let's peel back the layers of this story, because it's not just about fraud, but about a system that shuts its eyes in the glare of money's power. Bankim Brahmbhatt. This name once symbolized innovation and growth in America's financial world. Of Gujarati origin, Bankim founded a telecom company in New York called Bankai Group. He claimed to have over 30 years of experience and often said, "We build telecom infrastructure. We connect companies across the world." His company profile was so impressive that major banks and investment firms saw him as a visionary entrepreneur. He owned two major companies, Broadband Telecom and Bridgevoice Incorporated both, claimed to serve telecom operators across the US, Europe, and Asia. Their client list carried big names, and that, for Bankim, was his greatest asset. But as it is said, where there is the most light, there is also the deepest shadow. In 2020, when the whole world was struggling with COVID and economic activities had come to a halt, Bankim started taking new loans for business expansion. He told BlackRock's HPS Investment Partners, BNP Paribas, and some other American lenders that his companies were growing rapidly and needed financing for network upgrades and international operations. Everything looked perfect on paper. The balance sheet showed profits, the list of clients was long, and every deal was backed with guarantees under the name of secured assets. BlackRock and the other lenders approved the first round of loans worth $38 million. Then, at the beginning of 2021, this amount increased to around 3,200 crore rupees. Everything seemed smooth, or at least that's how it appeared. But like every lie, this lie also had an expiry date. In the middle of 2024, an employee at HPS Investment Partners found some emails suspicious. These emails seemed to have come from Bridgevoice clients, but upon closer inspection, it was discovered that the domains from which the emails were sent were not real, they were copied. The real company's website was bridgevoice.com, but these emails had been sent from fake domains like bridgevoice.net. When loan documents and client verifications began, it was revealed that the customers in whose names invoices had been issued either did not exist or had never done any business with Broadband Telecom. And that's where the Bankim Brahmbhatt scandal of America began. When HPS informed BNP Paribas and other banks about this, the investigation deepened. It was found that many secured accounts, meaning those accounts pledged as collateral for the loans, actually existed only on paper. The company's assets, towers, and infrastructure, which were claimed to exist, were either overvalued or never existed at all. The assets listed in their documents were part of a long balance sheet, which looked detailed but was actually a fictional spreadsheet. One investigator stated, "This is a case where the files were real, but the data was fake." Hearing this, every bank was shocked. For a giant firm like BlackRock, this incident was nothing short of a blow. They immediately filed a lawsuit, alleging that Bankim Brahmbhatt had committed fraud of around 4,438 crore rupees. The allegation was that Bankim obtained loans by showing false assets and fabricated client names, and then gradually transferred this money to offshore accounts in India and Mauritius, meaning the very amount that had been pledged as collateral was sent to India. As the investigation progressed, Bankim's behavior began to change. He stopped answering several calls, his responses to emails decreased, and then, in August 2025, when the pressure increased, he filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 11. Chapter 11 means restructuring. It's when a company or an individual declares that they are currently unable to make payments but will repay after reorganization in the future. But the biggest question here was this bankruptcy really due to financial distress, or was it a legal shield to escape investigation? According to the papers filed in court, Bankim's companies, Broadband Telecom, Bridgevoice, and Bankai Group all filed for bankruptcy together. Their office in Garden City, New York, was found closed. Even the nameplate on the door had been removed. Nearby tenants said no one had been seen there for weeks. Even at his home, no one came to open the door. Reports say that around the same time, Bankim's LinkedIn and social media accounts were deleted. Every digital trace was erased, as if he had never existed. Now, under American law, any accused in a major financial fraud must appear in court. But when the court sent notices, Bankim was found unavailable. Some reports claim he has returned to India, and now US authorities are searching for him. HPS and BlackRock told the US court that this case is one of the most complex examples of modern corporate fraud because it didn't involve a fake product, but a fake data economy, fake emails, falsified balance sheets, and fabricated clients. Every line looked perfect on paper, but in reality, nothing existed. His company's website is still active, but no one answers the contact numbers listed there. Some employees of Bankai Group in India said, "We haven't seen Bankim sir for months." Now the question arises, was this part of a larger network? Because such a massive fraud couldn't have been possible by one person alone. It involved multiple loopholes in the banking system, financial auditing, and technology verification processes. Financial experts say this case will remain an MBA-level case study for years, because it shows how even the most sophisticated systems in today's digital economy can be deceived. One report mentioned that Bankim had instructed his employees not to contact certain people. He used to say, "All clients are our partners, don't ask questions." In other words, even inside the company, there was a curtain of secrecy. In the US, this case has now turned into a cross-border fraud investigation. Indian agencies are also examining it, as part of the funds have been traced to Indian banks and accounts. Many experts believe this is one of the smartest corporate frauds of the century, because it involved no violence, no weapons, yet billions of dollars were stolen. For Wall Street, this was a deep shock. Even giants like BlackRock, considered the heartbeat of the global economy, fell victim to such a scam. And Bankim Brahmbhatt, he remains a mystery. Some say he has returned to India and is trying to reactivate his old network. Others say he has built a new base in Mauritius. And some believe he may never appear again. But whatever the truth is, this case has proved one thing. Every big fraud begins with big trust. Bankim Brahmbhatt beat the system in its own language, through data, documents, and digital trust. Today, when investors put money into a company, they ask, does this company have audited reports? And the answer comes, yes, of course. But this case showed that sometimes the report is real. Only the story is fake.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, If you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every news story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.